All right, here's our math objective for today. I will be able to apply mental reasoning and multiplication strategies to solve problems about mass. So, in your previous lesson, you did do already multiplication strategies to solve problems about mass. Now, mental reasoning means basically solving more things in your head. So that's what we're going to be going over a lot today is how to solve these problems without having to write anything down. So let's get started. Solve these, and most of these you could solve in your head as well. 5 times 40 equals times 3 equals 60. 250 divided by 5 equals 7 times 70 equals times 4, equals 4 times 80. 420 divided by 6 equals times 7 equals 280. 7 times equals 560. 630 divided by equals 90. All right, so could 5 blue jays, and blue jays are, where are they? Right over here. Here they are. Could 5 blue jays have a greater total mass than an Atlantic puffin? So let's see where the Atlantic puffin is. Here's the mountain blue jay. Let's see where that puffin is. Ah, right here. Okay, so these are the two birds that we're going to be talking about, this one and this one. So could 5 blue jays have a greater mass than an Atlantic puffin? All right, do that math there, and we're in grams for both, so that makes it easier. Could their total mass be less than that of an Atlantic puffin? Try to solve the problem in your head, okay? So try not to write anything down. Just look at the numbers, right? 5 blue jays. All right, so I'm going to do one of these numbers times 5. Have a greater total mass than the Atlantic puffin, okay? So we might want to go with the largest number to see if it could be here. Could their total mass be less than that of an Atlantic puffin? So maybe go towards the smaller number. And you're still doing 5, so you would do 5 times this in order to see if it is less than this or less than the less. Try to solve the problem in your head and then put your answer in this box. Solving problems mentally can be more efficient or faster and easier than writing all the numbers. What could you try if solving problems mentally is difficult? So let's say you had a hard time in that previous problem. What could you do to help you if solving something mentally is hard? And put your suggestion down here. What is the total mass of 6 10-gram black-capped chickadees? So chickadees is my favorite thing to say, so I'm sorry if I say it funny. But you don't need the map for this because you know that the black-capped chickadees are 10 grams each, and there's 6 of them. So go ahead and solve. Now that one was relatively easy. You could solve that in your head because you know what 6 times 10 is. That's not that hard. Now we have, what is the total mass of 6 12-gram black-capped chickadees? So since you already know what 6 times 10 is, it might be easy to solve 6 times 12, or it might be a little bit difficult. So I want you to put your guess right here. What do you think? Try and do it in your head. Don't start writing it down yet, okay? And then come back, do the previous slides, and then pause this video, do those previous slides, and come back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So there's multiple ways that we could do this, and we could do this all in our head. We could definitely figure this out. So one way we could do it is I could break apart 12 into 10 and 2 and then multiply both easier factors by 6. So we had already done 6 times 10 equals 60. And then all we have to do is 6 times 2 equals 12. So 6 times 12 is the same as adding those two components together. So knowing 6 times 10 equals 60, 6 times 12, 6 times 2 equals 12, 60 plus 12. Now 60 plus 12, if I have to do that in my head without writing it down, I could go, okay, I have 60 plus 12. Well, 60 plus 10 is 70, and then plus another 2 to make the 12 is 72. So 60 plus 12 is 72. So that is one way that you can solve this problem. Another way that you could do it is using the doubling strategy. So you can break 12 into 6, right? And the original problem was 6 times 12. So if I break 12 into 6, what I'm doing is I'm doing 6 times 6. And then when I go from there, 6 times 6, all I have to do is add 36 to 36 again. So that way I'm doubling it, if that makes sense, because I broke 12 in half. And so then I had 6 times 6, which is how I got that. So now I have 36 plus 36 equals 72. Now that is for somebody who is good at carrying over and recognizing that when you add two sixes together, you're going to have 12, and then you have 30 plus 30 plus 12. So 30 plus 30 is 60, plus 12 is 72. What is the total mass of 8 25-gram mountain birds? Try and solve it in your head, okay? We have 8 25-gram mountain bluebirds. What is your guess? Put a guess right here because we are going to be going over it, okay? What factors do we need to multiply? What is the total mass of 8? So I have 8 mountain bluebirds, and they're each 25 grams. So I need to multiply 8 times 25. I kind of gave that one to you. How can I break apart the 25 to make it this easier? Put your suggestion right here. Which factor is a double? Which one could I actually split in half in order to be able to do my doubling strategy? Go ahead and put your guesses right here. We are going to be going over it in the next slide. So please pause and do these previous slides and come back in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so I could break apart 25 into 20 and 5. I can easily multiply 8 times 20 and 8 times 5 in my head. 8 times 20 is 160. 8 times 5 is 40. And 160 plus 40 equals 200. So 8 times 25 equals 200. Or, because 8 is made up of 2 4s, and I know 4 times 25 is 100, I double 100. And 100 times 2 is 200. So 8 times 25 has to be 100. So I feel like I went over that really quick for how to break up the 8. You have to break it up, split apart the 8 because that is the even number that can be split in half. And then you have to do 4 times 25, and 25 is the other factor. You always have to multiply the other factor. It doesn't make sense to do 4 times 8 in this model. You have to do 4 times 25. So any one of these strategies can help you solve these problems mentally by just trying to break down the number into a way that you can easily solve these problems. So, what is the mass of 21 6-gram hummingbirds? Okay, so I know I have 6 hummingbirds, and they are 21. I have 21 birds. They're each 6 grams. So how can I break 21? Or would it make sense to do 21 times 3? I don't think it makes sense to do 21 times 3 because I don't know if I could really do that in my head. But breaking 21 into 2 factors that I can easily multiply by 6, that could be pretty easy, especially 20 1. So I'll let you think about that and go ahead and solve. Could 5 house sparrows have a greater combined mass than a mourning dove? So what you have to do is look at the house sparrow, and I would go for the bigger number, right? And then times it by 5. Less than a mourning dove, you would take the smaller number and multiply it by 5. And then a how do you know? So really you're answering 3 questions within this box. Can it be greater? Can it be less than? How do you know? Solve each number story in your head. Use number models and words to show your thinking. So like I said, all of these problems today are mental. You need to be able to try and break these apart and figure it out in your mind without writing anything down. However, if you needed to write down something like, if you were using a break apart strategy, for instance, for this one, and you needed to break apart 25 in order to do that multiplication, you could write that down. You could go, all right, then I need to do 20 times 5 equals, and then I have to do 5 times 5 equals, and then add them together, okay? So that is one way that you could keep your mental math organized without necessarily, you're not doing the multiplication on this slide, you're just organizing your information, and that's different than just solving it mentally. Or it is part of solving something mentally, is keeping your information organized, and that is totally fine. So if you need to keep your information organized and write down what steps you're going to take, that's great. And you could do that here as well. You could do that in all of the slides. So solve each number story in your head. Use number models and words to show your thinking. So you're going to put your thinking right here, just like I said. What did you break apart? How did you break it apart? Or if you didn't use break apart, how did you double it? Things like that. The mass of one American white pelican is about 8 kilograms. What is the mass of 16 8-kilogram pelicans? And then after you put all of your thinking in the strategies that you used, you're going to put your answer down here. One blue jay has a mass of about 75 grams. What bird could have about the same mass as 6 75-gram blue jays? So the first step is you need to do the multiplication of 6 times 75 and show how you're going to do that. But in order to answer it, what it's asking is what bird could have about the same mass? And so I provided for you guys this slide as well, so that way you don't have to go back to previous slides to see what bird it could possibly be. So use this slide to help you answer this part of the question. One house sparrow has a mass of about 35 grams. How many blue-crowned motmots together would have about the same mass as 5 35-gram sparrows? So you need to figure out, this is like a 2-step. This is a big one. So the first thing that you need to do is figure out how much is 5 35-gram sparrows. Okay, so you're going to have to do multiplication there. Then you have to go to this slide over here and find the motmots, wherever they are. Where are the motmots? Why am I not seeing them? Oh, because I'm under them. Blue-crowned motmot over here. How many of these do you need in order to equal what you had just put? So now you're going to have to do some addition or multiplication. You could do 100 plus 100 plus 100 or 80 or 100 times 3. It really depends on what your answer is for this question. So I'm about out of time, and I believe that was that's your last question for math. So if you have any problems or have any questions, please let me know.